What's up, everybody? Back Kibble bonus episode. Just me in perspective here today. Brian's out.
What's
But
up?
what's up? What's up? Do you like
Whack.
Scary Movie?
No, I
The
don't.
movie? No, not even a little bit.
No, the first one sucks.
Like, not even one bit. Like, okay,
the
what's
first
the
one is
best
not
one then?
funny. Two.
Two. Everyone loves two. I don't care for two. I like the first one a lot.
Two is just better than the first one. The first one isn't.
I think the third one is really funny though. I feel like the third one.
I know what you did last Friday the 13th is a way better version of Scary Movie 1.
Okay, I've never seen that. I need to watch it. When I was a kid, I watched Scary Movie 1 before Scream.
You know what the best movie is? Hands down.
What?
Superhero movie.
No, not true.
No,
I watched it
flat out.
I got drunk and I watched it the other night with some friends, and it was so terrible.
You're fucking.
It was like
wrong.
one of the
You're
worst movies I've ever watched.
You're fucking wrong,
it's
dude.
so bad, bro.
No, it's not, dude.
You
It's
think
actually
it's
funny.
that good?
Yes, it's the best of the movies. You're fucking. And here's the thing: you were drunk.
Yeah,
the jokes were
hopefully that would make it better.
The jokes were obviously too smart for you.
No shot, dude. What the hell?
It is a Leslie Nielsen vehicle. Fuck you if you're like, ooh, stupid.
It is not a Leslie Nielsen vehicle. It's a fucking Drake Bell vehicle.
Leslie Nielsen is like the main joke giver for 2/3 of the movie.
Who's he play?
The uncle.
Uncle?
Do you not know who Leslie Nielsen is?
Yeah, I remember. I remember. I was drunk, so I kind of forgot most of the movie.
Jesus
I just
Christ,
knew
dude.
it was terrible.
You're wrong.
It was like just like so bad.
It is actually legitimately funny.
Okay, we need comment leavers. Please tell us: is superhero movie good or bad? Let's see. Let's see what the people say.
It is up for the people to decide.
Have you watched the Planet of the Apes movie, the live action ones?
Fuck no.
No, you don't like the new ones. I mean,
no. Fuck that noise.
You don't. Why not?
I've seen the original ones many moons ago, like when I was 5. I am Superboy from Young Justice has it right. Monkeys suck. I don't like monkeys. I don't like monkeys, and I don't want to see a movie about monkeys. I don't care.
Bro, so you don't fuck with King Kong at all?
Not really. Like King Kong is like in the yeah. I'm not a big King Kong guy either. The parts of King Kong I like are the parts without Kong.
That's crazy. You say the most random shit. I don't like monkeys.
Look, I'm not here for less good human movie.
Yeah, we're talking about a classic, an 80s horror classic.
King Kong.
The Thing.
The 80s, or is it like late 70s King Kong that fucking tanked the studio?
I'm talking about, what are we, I've never seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen Godzilla versus Kong.
There's a really, like the original one or the recent one?
The recent one, man.
You trash.
What the hell you mean?
You don't want to fucking watch a movie where they float King Kong over to Godzilla on balloons to make them
I'm not against it. I just haven't seen it. I'm not saying I wouldn't watch it.
You trash that you haven't seen it. Like, it's not even that, it doesn't even matter that you like
that I would see it.
It matters that you haven't.
What's wrong with this, man? What is this podcast about anymore?
Nothing.
I mean, I kind of think it's never been about anything, though.
Yeah, at this point.
But we're talking about The Thing by John Carpenter, the GOAT.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah, the GOAT, The Thing.
As opposed to The Thing from Another World.
Which it's based on?
It's not based on... Okay, so this is based on... They were both based on a book. The Thing from Another World, technically finger quotes in the most hardcore finger quotes way possible. This is a remake. It was contracted as a remake of The Thing from Another World, but it's based on the book Who Goes There. It's more directly based on the book, though it takes some serious liberties with the book. Like in the book, the Thing does have a true form, and you see it.
So I keep smacking my lips. Sorry. So it's a so it's it's a sequel. It's a remake of The Thing from the Other World, but it's really based on the original book, The Thing from the Other.
it is a more
It's
true,
like the It movie, kind of.
it is a more true to the book thing that was contracted as a remake, but is not in any way, shape, or form a remake.
Right.
The sequel or the prequel to this movie is more of a remake than this movie is a remake of the movie it is supposedly remaking.
Yeah, because I remember watching. I want to say his name's Ryan Hollinger, YouTuber guy, and he made a video on The Thing, and he talked about this, what you're talking about. And it did The Thing from Another World, where it's like they're on a train and it like gets loose and
No,
kills people. No, is that not it?
that's not it at all.
What am I talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
The original The Thing from Another World is 50s movie, black and white. The thing from Another World is a carrot man. He doesn't look like he just looks like Frankenstein, but they're like, yeah, no, his DNA is nearly identical to a carrot, and he drinks blood.
To a carrot.
Yes.
And it drinks blood.
Yeah, it's this big Frankenstein looking motherfucker, and he just like comes and he smashes down doors and he murders people with his two Frankenstein hands. And that's that movie, as opposed to this movie where it turns into people, which is what The Thing originally did in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the Who Goes There Wikipedia, which is the name of the book it's based on.
Yeah, I literally said that like 3 times.
I know.
You don't need to
I knew
tell
that.
me.
I knew that. I was saying it for the listener, It's good to repeat things so people remember it.
Sure.
1938. That's old as hell. But this movie, by John Carpenter, the goat that made Halloween, and other great movies.
Absolutely abysmal movie. I hate Halloween.
Come on, bruh.
Halloween ain't good. There's nothing fucking scary about it. It's fucking boring. It's fucking predictable. The kills are fucking mundane and rote. The fucking villain is nothing. Fucking Michael Myers is a void of charisma. He has nothing going for him.
That's kind of the point, no?
He's a non-entity. It might as well just be like, oh yeah, fucking people went around and had aneurysms.
I like it, but I am more of a Wes Craven guy. I'll say that. I like Freddy a little bit more. Which I don't know why they get compared that much now that I think about it. Freddy versus Jason. They're always
not
in
Jason,
like
it's Michael, you motherfucker.
God damn it. My brain is just not working today. So this has Kurt Russell, a bunch of other people. It's Among Us. It's Among Us, the movie.
Who plays Blair? Who plays Blair?
The old fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's
diabetes.
Brimley.
Wilford Brimley with diabetes. That man was old in his 30s. He was born old.
He was old, crazy old. He was a good character though. I really liked the. So this was a first time watch for me. For anyone who hasn't been paying attention to our episodes where we talk about random shit, and all of a sudden we have a bonus episode about The Thing. We were talking about The Thing, and I haven't seen it. Perspective's seen it like a gajillion times.
Oh yeah, I've seen that movie so many times that it is no longer. Excuse my voice. I've seen that movie so many times that it is no longer like at all scary to me, and I would actually describe the movie as a cozy movie for me.
Yeah, that's what you said, and
like,
I said that sounds insane.
Like legitimately, like I see that movie and I'm just like, oh, this is nice. I'm hanging out with friends. I'm hanging out with friends who all die horribly.
You ain't right, boy.
You know, much the same as Tremors.
Tremors.
100% Tremors is a fucking cozy ass movie for me.
Another movie I've never seen.
You fucking okay, well we know what the next one's gonna be.
That's so true. But I just realized that Keith David was in the movie.
How did you not
I was like, I knew it. I knew him, but I I couldn't remember his name.
Yeah,
He's like, I know him more as like a voice actor, right?
yeah. I mean, like, because
He does a lot of voice
Goliath
acting.
and like a lot of what he does now. But yeah, he was in. He was
Oh yeah, he was
he was
Grimlock in Earthspark.
he was big in the '80s. Keith David was in
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. Late '80s, early '90s, or not late '80s. So this was an early '80s movie, but he was throughout the '80s and early '90s. He was also in Man at Work, a movie that does not hold up. A movie that you watch and you're like, okay, what is the point of this movie? And also, oh my god, is that seriously how it ends? Basically,
uh,
if you've not seen that movie, the movie ends with
yeah.
the murdering or no, it's not a politician, the murdering industrial waste manufacturing company head who has literally an army of goons to kill whoever he wants, getting made dirty, and then everyone high fives, and then they're like, yeah, I guess we won, even though like the proof that he is a murderer got destroyed. And cut to black. They put gross poo poo on his clothes, and they're like, yeah, and it's like he's gonna climb up that hill and fucking shoot you all in the face. Like that's where this movie ends. That's like the next logical thing that happens. He climbs up the hill and he fucking shoots you. He has a gun. You don't.
Are there like theories on who is the thing throughout the
Oh,
movie?
for sure there are absolutely theories. I will tell you that I have the only correct theory.
Okay, hit me. I'm interested.
Well, I mean, first, do you want to go through?
Like what happens?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, they're in like Antarctica. A helicopter crashes and is trying to kill this dog, and they kill the guy.
That
Because
is
he's
that.
like Norwegian and
Oh
they
my
don't know
god!
what he's saying.
You are giving the worst recap I've ever heard unintentionally.
That's how I remember. That's what I remember.
The helicopter does not crash. The helicopter successfully lands because the guy's wearing thick winter gloves when he tries to throw a grenade into a party of people. Like literally, there's a bunch of people standing around this dog that this guy has been trying to kill from the start of the movie. That they've been flying around in this helicopter trying to shoot. And everyone will, like, if you ever watch like reactions, people are like, "Oh my god, how is this guy fucking failing to hit this dog? Oh, then like big man can't hit a dog, fucking loser." And it's like, well, one, the dude is going at like 80 miles an hour from the air in an unstable platform shooting. He's probably not even like a hunter, right? This guy is from a fucking science camp.
Yeah, they're like, it's kind of like a counterpart to the main place that we spend time at in the movie, right? Like,
yeah, it basically the plot is everything that happened here happened at the Norwegian camp first.
Yeah.
So, like, one, if he is a bad shot, like, dude's got an excuse. He's not fucking, meant to be a good shot. He's a fucking scientist. And two, like, he's doing an incredibly difficult thing. And three, as we learn later in the movie, or like you should be expecting it immediately, because like, holy shit, this dude is willing to kill and die to kill this dog.
Yeah.
Like, you should be like, okay, there's something wrong with this dog. But three, we later learned that the dog is in fact the monster, and the dog, bullets do not do anything to the thing, which is one of my problems with the movie. One of my problems with the movie. So he could be hitting that dog with every single fucking shot. The dog wouldn't stop running.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
So,
but do you think they didn't figure that out? The fire thing? They figure out the fire thing like almost immediately, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, because to be fair, they find out that the Norwegians did it first.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like, that's like the main way that the way that they find out is that they find the dead thing, or the mostly dead thing, in the Norwegian camp that the Norwegians burned with a shitload of kerosene, but apparently not enough. And it gets, I've seen people like also in reactions go like, "Oh my god, how stupid are you? I can't believe you brought that back. Now you're all going to die." No, that saves them. The fucking thing gets a hold of, oh shit, I know all their names. Windows Childs, Knowles, Norris, Palmer, Bennings. It gets a hold of Bennings.
Mm-hmm.
It gets a hold of Bennings. They see it get a hold of Bennings, and then Bennings gets turned into a thing, and that clues them in that it wasn't just the dog. They now know that everything is fucked, and that like it can duplicate
Yeah.
them. So it costs one of them their lives, but it saves the whole party by bringing that thing back. But anyways, yes, they accidentally, because the guy's wearing thick winter gloves, he drops the grenade next to the helicopter. The fucking helicopter is then blown up by the grenade. He then fires into the American science team to try and shoot the dog.
Mm-hmm.
At which point, the commander of the outpost breaks out a window. And as the guy walks up to shoot the dog one more time, he shoots the guy, not because he was Norwegian. The reason that he shot at everyone is because no one could understand it because he was Norwegian and he was shouting at them in Norwegian. But he was not shot.
You have to specify that? Isn't that obvious?
He could have been shouting in English. Like a lot of people, like if you watch the fucking prequel, literally that is the only character in the prequel who does not understand English. All of the rest of them know English.
Damn, that's funny. Though.
Yeah. The prequel is kind of like annoying because they like find a way to like crowbar as many English speakers into there as possible for like no reason. Like there's even like it's a Norwegian camp, but for some reason they have a British comms officer. Like he's full on supposed to be British. He sleeps in a bunk with a British flag over it.
Bruh.
Like I don't know why they did that with that movie.
It's a fun. There's like the only thing I knew about this movie really was the fun fact that like if you spoke Norwegian, you would know like the twist, I guess, sooner than other people.
Yeah,
but it wasn't a big twist. It was like the dog is obviously a fucking thing.
Yeah, you
so
should
it's not
be.
That
you
crazy.
should. I can't tell you the number of fucking reactions I've seen where like literally someone like it's for some reason like it's women. Like I don't like being sexist. I don't like being sexist. Like
Finally.
That.
Perspective and misogynist run. Let's
but
go.
For some, I've seen 100 fucking reactions to the thing at this point, and literally, if it is a woman watching the movie alone, she is gonna go, "Oh, look at the doggy! I love the doggy." If that dog dies in this movie, I'm going to fucking turn this movie off and throw it out the fucking window. Like nothing better happened to this dog. I want this dog protected with everyone's lives. Everyone else can die, but I want the dog to live. And then it's like every single time, it's just it is if a woman is watching that movie on her own, that's going to happen. If she's watching it like with her husband or boyfriend or something like that, she'll probably do it to us like they do it less frequently, but they still do it. And then the guy is just sitting there kind of like, yeah, I mean, kind of like you can tell that he is at least a little bit suspicious.
Yeah,
but like she's like influencing him.
The dogs are adorable. So
it is legitimately infuriating to just see like every single time like complete every suspicion goes straight out of their head. Dog is good, dog is love, dog is life.
Yeah, but I think you can like blame that. Like I feel like current day movies, they refuse to kill a dog.
Yeah,
like John Wick is the only movie I can think of, and that's like the entire plot is because the dog dies. It's such a big deal. Like movies don't want to kill dogs. Because most of the time they can't really earn it enough.
Yeah, in this movie,
kill such an innocent creature.
Like, and to be fair, like every single time they go, like, "Oh, nothing better happened to the dog," I'm going to go, "Oh, everything is going to happen."
Like
to that
everything, yeah, the most things.
Though the worst things are going to happen to this dog, and you have to fucking deal with it.
That shit was crazy. The effects in this movie are absolutely amazing. I love the practical effects.
I've shown this movie, or not shown this. I've like talked to people about this movie. I keep having people like look up the movie and they see the practical effects. They see like a single still frame of the practical effects. And they go, "This movie looks awful. It looks so stupid." Bruh. And it's like you're literally looking at this in like the worst format possible. It's way worse than the movie. They're like, yeah, sure, buddy, sure, totally. Fucking just fuck you. But yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like not enough people appreciate practical effects.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: is that there are like it does look a little silly. It looks plasticky when it's not moving.
Yeah, you can tell for sure, but it's not like being able to tell doesn't make it bad to me. It just makes it like interesting.
But that's the thing: is like when it's just a still frame, all it looks like is plasticky.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, but like you watch the movie. Don't fucking just like sit there and like laugh at the effects because you're seeing them completely out of context. Because also that's a huge part of the movie is the context building up to it. Because this movie, I've pointed this out before. The thing is this weird, like it has these huge stretches. Like, this is considered to be the king of the body horror movies. But if you
Yeah.
watched all the body horror scenes in The Thing, it's probably like 4 minutes out of a
It
90
didn't
minute movie.
feel like a lot. Yeah.
It's there is not a lot of body horror in this movie, but what is there is super effective. So you have these huge stretches where there's just no body horror whatsoever. It's just guys sitting around talking, and then all of a sudden you have these nightmarish like jump ups where like the horror becomes like a major thing for a minute, and then it goes back down
Yeah.
to, okay, what's going on? We're talking. We're trying to figure this out. We're trying to figure this out. Um,
Usually when I watch these old movies, they don't really like get me. Like the only scary stuff that tends to get me is like big jump scares right in the face. But the
this one has
So
this one has one of the most
yeah.
effective jump scares of all time, but that's because it's not a jump scare.
What is it?
I'm assuming the scene that probably got you the most, which would be the defibrillator scene.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, that is like legitimately no joke. When I fucking saw this movie the first time and I got to the defibrillator scene, I literally went, "That's cheating!" Like, that just didn't seem fair.
The defibrillator scene, I guess, for someone who hasn't watched, the guy's getting defibrillated, and then right as the other guy who's doing the defibrillating goes down, his stomach becomes like this open maw and just bites the guy's arms off. It was so ridiculous, it scared me, and then I started laughing.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, no way!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then his fucking head falls off and gets like little spider legs. Like,
Yeah, so
the
for
parts of
those
this movie with body horror are so fucking good.
So for those who don't know what this movie is about, to elucidate,
It's Among Us. It's Among Us. The movie.
not only is it Among Us, but the monster is not a monster. It is an alien virus that takes over your entire body. And it just replaces all of your cells with itself, and so it looks and acts just like you. But no matter what, it is still a virus, and not one part of it is like connected to the rest of it. So if you like shoot it, the bullet just passes through and does no damage. If you fucking light it on fire, like parts of it will like fall off and try to run away.
Yeah. It's like it can just make itself out of any little piece. It seems like.
Yeah, like, which, that one of my problems with this movie is that the monster is way too powerful. There is literally no excuse for why the monster loses. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
The dog is in the camp for about 2 days, unrestrained.
Yeah.
Just able to go around just licking people, biting them. Like, and they outright state in the movie that a single cell of this will kill you and take you over entirely. There is no reason why everyone wasn't infected by like 20 minutes into the movie.
Yeah. I was kind of like confused on how it worked.
Yeah,
Because I couldn't tell if it was like airborne or like how, or if it had to kill you to eat you.
It's not airborne. It has to just get its cells on you, or theoretically potentially into an open wound. But I mean, we see later at the end of the movie, we see Blair Thing stick its fingers into Captain Gary's face, and it's literally just goes straight through the skin. Which again, it's too powerful. There's no reason that this thing should have fucking lost. It is, as soon as it had anything, any one of the guys, it could have just gone around like shaking hands, and theoretically that should have killed everyone. And there's no reason the whole plot of the movie is like, okay, so this thing it wants to, it's hiding, it's afraid of us. If we find it, we can kill it. But like there's that like scene like when they figure that out, they're like, okay, it wants to hide. But if it just like hulked out right then and there and just killed everyone, what was anyone going to do?
Yeah.
There was they had a fucking an oil drum.
It needed
right there.
like more weaknesses or something.
It needed more weaknesses because they had an oil drum right there. They were currently burning Benning's thing, but they did that with an oil drum they knocked over that was too heavy for them to lift. So and no one has a weapon, and none of these guys are physically capable of taking the thing. The thing is super strong and it can turn into like a million blades and whatnot, and it can just kill you by touching you. There is no reason that at that very moment it wasn't just going around just like ripping people apart because no one could have fought it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I totally see that.
the monster is too powerful. It should not have lost. It needed more weaknesses than it had, um, which that's like my one real issue with the movie.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused, but also I was like, I don't really care.
Yeah,
I just let it go. It can be whatever for me. But yeah, that's a good point. I liked Kurt Russell as the main character. I thought he was a cool guy. He takes charge, but he's what's his like job? Do
he's a
you
helicopter
know?
pilot. I can tell you the job of
Helicopter,
I
right?
can tell you the
Yeah.
job of literally every single person there. That's like how good this movie is. Is that like not only do I know all of the characters' names, like from the first viewing, like it's not just because I've seen this a million times, but like the first viewing I probably got like half of their jobs down, and then on like the second or third viewing I knew all of them.
Yeah. I'm kind of surprised the only other movie they've made is like that prequel
Yeah.
because I feel like you could apply this formula to like 100 movies and still
Well,
be pretty entertaining.
so the problem is that this movie was a horrible flop when it came out, and then the prequel was also a
Oh
horrible
my
flop.
god.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I
This
see that. Holy shit.
this movie was savaged by critics when it came out. Basically, largely for the dumbest reason you've ever heard in your life. E.T. came out like 2 weeks before, and the critics saw this, and they saw E.T. before, and they were like, well, when we have movies about aliens who want to be our friends, why would we ever want movies about scary evil aliens ever again? It's the dumbest fucking shit you've ever seen in your life. And then to be fair, part it is also just the world was not ready for horror on this level. Nothing looked like this before. Nothing else had ever been this scary before.
Yeah.
People were not ready to process that. No one had like, this is an era when it was like, oh, a ghost, oh, just a regular ghost, oh, that's so scary. It looks like a human being who's white and kind of has a sheet for a lower half.
Mm.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. I see that. It says there was a recession as well, diametrically opposed to the thing's nihilistic and bleak tone,
Yeah.
according to
And
Wikipedia.
to be fair, the movie is. I wouldn't say it's nihilistic. The movie ends with all of our characters dying. The movie ends with everyone dying. But the
Even
movie.
Kurt Russell and the other guy?
Oh yeah, there's not. They are in the start of winter, and there's no one coming to help them for the next like 6 months that they've just burned down their whole camp. They are dying in the cold.
Oh,
There is
true.
there is no way that they are fucking surviving that. So yeah, they're done for. But the movie, like, yeah, the movie ends with them all dying, but the movie also ends with them having saved humanity.
Mm-hmm.
Like theoretically, like here's the thing: is people are going to say, well, we don't know if Childs was the thing. Childs was not the thing. One, if you take the prequel into account, Child still has his earring. The thing can't replace metal parts of your body, so because it can only replicate you on your by your genetics. So anything that your body doesn't genetically have, it can't put there.
Oh, so is that something that can be tracked during the movie? Like, do
For
people lose rings and stuff?
that is not something that can be tracked during this movie. That's something that can be tracked during the prequel.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm saying. If you take the prequel into account, Child still has his earring.
Okay.
Then the prequel confirms that Child's is not a thing. But also, it just physically cannot be Child's because they tested Child's. They had the test that they had proved works. They tested Child's like a couple of minutes before. We know that Child's was fine. None of them split up until they split up with Child's at that one moment. At which point they leave Child's. Blair goes into the building to break the generator, but Child's leaves moments before the generator breaks, which would mean that the thing would have had to go past them to assault Childs, kill Childs, turn Childs into a thing, send Childs to run out into the storm for no reason. And also they established that when the thing takes you over, your clothes get destroyed. So Childs comes back into camp later and he has a full set of clothes. So it would have to have, in a few minutes, killed Childs, assimilated Childs, gotten Childs a new set of clothes, sent him out into the storm for no reason. And also at the end, if Childs was the thing, there was literally no reason to not just torch McCready with the fucking flamethrower it has.
Yeah. I really didn't think Childs was the
Yeah.
thing at the
Yeah,
end.
Childs cannot be the thing. So they have successfully blown the thing up, burned the whole camp down. They have the movie ends with all the characters dying, but they have successfully defeated the thing.
Yeah.
At least most. So there's a lot of stuff that they've done in the movie. Like there's when he blows up the Palmer thing, there is no reason blowing something up does not destroy it on the genetic level, and you need to kill the thing on the genetic level with fire. So throwing a piece of dynamite at fucking Palmer thing just spreads its genetics all over a wide radius, which means that anyone who walks there is now like going through a landmine of death.
Yeah. That's funny.
But yeah, so the movie is very nihilistic. Everyone dies in the cold at the end. But at the same time, it's also very optimistic in that they all died for a very good reason.
Yeah, they actually won.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a truly nihilistic ending would be it gets away.
Yeah. But yeah, the movie was hated when it came out for very, very dumb reasons. Let me ask you, do you think that can you track the order that it went in? What do you think the order was?
Oh, I had no clue. I was completely confused on how, because, it shows the dog, like, going into a room with some guy. Like, the shadow, but it doesn't show who the guy is that the dog goes in the room with. So I honestly had no clue from the jump who it was. I only found out when they revealed themselves.
Yeah. So I have a fun theory. It was a cough. I have a fun theory.
Bless you, regardless. Okay.
That I don't think this is the correct theory, but it is a explainable one. It is one that you can successfully argue.
Okay.
What if the thing is completely not hostile at all? What if the thing doesn't infect anyone when it goes into that room?
When it goes into what room? Sorry.
The room with the guy's shadow.
Oh. Maybe.
Because
I wouldn't say so. What do you mean? Like, I'm not hostile at first? Because it definitely becomes hostile.
It definitely becomes hostile, but if you think of it this way. Okay, so the thing doesn't infect anyone when it goes in that room. It goes into it gets put into the caged kennel with the dogs, and then the dogs start clearly being hostile towards it.
Yeah.
So the thing,
because they know it's some other creature.
They know it's not a dog, so they start becoming hostile. They definitely seem like they're about to start attacking the thing. So the thing freaks out, attacks them. The thing then, kills the dogs, and they come in and burn it. At this point, in order to, survive it all, it has to take on a host. So it takes on, some new host. Well, actually, not even necessarily. Because after that happens, they go to the Norwegian camp. They get the corpse, and they have Blair dissect the corpse. And we know that this thing, when it is broken down into its individual pieces, it's not like as smart as a person on a genetic level. It has much more basic instincts, where it's take over something on a genetic level. So Blair gets the blood of the thing all over his arms. Like, legitimately, like you see him. There's a point where he's like poking at it with the thing. He pokes at it with the pencil, puts the pencil up to his lips. Like, he is going to get taken over on a genetic level just by doing that, and then not necessarily become hostile. Then that thing, basically, the next person who gets taken over that we see that happen to is Bennings, who, like, that. The one that he gets taken over by is the burned one, who has no sensory organs anymore. So basically all it knows is, oh, hey, there's motion. I'm hurt. I can crawl into something and, save myself. So theoretically it crawls into Bennings, at which point they witness fucking the rest of the humans find Bennings, realize that he's not Bennings anymore. And then without even trying to communicate it, they just burn it to death.
Yeah.
At that point, it knows that, oh, hey, I'm in danger. These things will kill me if they just find out that I exist at all. So you could argue that the thing initially was not hostile, and from there, it became hostile. And then a lot of like the shit that just goes wrong is just the paranoia of the party. You can make that argument.
Yeah, you could
um,
for sure. Because I mean, it never comes out until it's threatened until the very end, I
yeah.
guess.
And
With
to be fair,
the
at the
big
very
guy.
end, it is very threatened. They are trying to kill it. They are trying to hunt it down
Yeah,
and burn it to death, and they're going to kill it as soon as they find, you know, anyone else. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
Interesting. The fucking monster could almost be the protagonist of the story
yeah, theoretically,
if
um,
framed differently.
the most typical interpretation that people say about this movie, is that they think that Palmer is the first person infected. Which
Palmer.
let me go. Let me go. He's the stoner.
Oh,
So
Palmer.
let me run through their jobs. You have Gary, who's the station commander. You have Blair, the
Mm-hmm.
chief scientist. You have Fuchs, the scientist assistant. You have Copper, who's the doctor. You have McCready, who's the helicopter pilot. You have Palmer, who's the backup helicopter pilot and backup mechanic. You have Childs, who's the chief mechanic. You have Windows, who is the radio operator. Um, you have Norris, who's the geologist, and you have Bennings, who is the meteorologist. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's everyone. I think I went through everyone.
Oh, this guy.
I'm pretty sure. And so people tend to assume that Palmer is the first guy because for some reason everyone just takes Blair destroying the radio room as a proof that Blair was not infected at the time.
I take it as he was infected.
Yeah,
And
that
he's going crazy, like he's trying to cut them at the knees. That's how I was
well,
like
if you
guessing.
listen to what he's saying that thing wanted to be us. I'll do what I like. I can't. Most of you don't know what's going on here. Well, I damn do. You think that thing wanted to be an animal? That thing wanted to be us.
Mm-hmm.
So most people tend to take it as like he's realized the horror and how dangerous this thing is. Oh no, okay. So what
Mm-hmm.
most people actually take is that like he does the computer search at that time, right? And he's like,
Yeah.
the chances that someone else is infected 75%. If this thing makes it to mainland, it will take over the entire world in 3 years.
Yeah.
So most people say like, oh well, if he was the thing, why would he be doing that? Well, it's like okay, like maybe he doesn't understand the extent of his abilities. Maybe he doesn't understand like as soon as like if he was the first one infected, he doesn't know if the dog went off and infected someone else either. So like maybe he's like, okay, do I have help? Oh, I have 75% chance of help from another thing. Um, and if I get to the mainland, there are enough people here and their technology is at such that it would take me 3 years to take over the entire world. So you can like read that as him researching himself. And I'm going to say that I 100% believe that Blair is, or not even believe, I know there is no other explanation that makes any sense. Because if it was Palmer, we see the person who would have been infected, the shadow on the wall who gets attacked by the dog, at least theoretically. Palmer then shares a joint with Childs, who we know by the end of the
Mm.
movie is not infected, at least by the time of the blood test. So it physically cannot be
Mm-hmm.
Palmer because Palmer would have infected Childs the moment that they shared a joint because Palmer's saliva would be the thing and the thing would have taken over Childs. Um, and we know that it can't be Norris, who is the geologist. He's the chubby guy who has a heart attack. We
Right.
know he can't be the first one because he is the only person left in charge of Copper, Gary. Oh, Clark. I forgot about Clark. Clark is the dog handler. Um,
Yeah.
he's the only guy in charge. He is left alone with Copper, Gary, and Clark while they are fucking under the effects of morphine and tied up for like 2 hours. There is no reason why they would not be infected. He's also the guy who injected them. There is no reason why he wouldn't put like a single cell of himself on the needle. There is no reason why while everyone else is gone and he has free reign over them for an hour, he wouldn't just infect them while they were unconscious thanks to morphine.
Yeah.
It is absolutely, if that thing was trying to win, there is no explanation for why that happened. Oh, and another point as to why you can read it as the thing is non-hostile is that when Norris has a heart attack and falls over,
Yeah.
and then they try and resuscitate him, the it doesn't make any sense. Like why would the thing, like that is just sabotaging itself. If the thing is faking it to get a kill, that makes no sense, because it literally does that in front of a guy who has a flamethrower
Uh-huh.
to
Right.
fucking end it. That is literally just throwing its own life away for no reason to get a kill on a person who wasn't a threat to it. So one, you have to read that as the thing was interpreting the defibrillator as an attack, right? The thing was like, oh, the defibrillator hurts, I don't want to get hit with that again.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do it on the first one. Because why wouldn't it, if it was trying to go for the arms, if it was just trying to kill that guy, it would have gone on the first one, right? Like, why would it wait for the second one?
Yeah. I guess why would it do any of that?
Yeah. So it wouldn't wait for the second one. If it was trying to kill him for the sake of killing him, it would have gone on the first one. It wouldn't have waited. So what you have to interpret that as is the defibrillator is hurting it, so it doesn't want to get hit by the defibrillator again, so it fucking, attacks him and kills him. And you can, so what you would read, what the logical read on that is, Norris has been infected. He doesn't know that he's infected. He got infected some subtle way. He ate something or whatever. It's taking over his body, and he had a bad heart in the first place. So human Norris legitimately had a heart attack as the thing was still taking over his body, because his body was under
Right.
such strain. They put it on the table, and then they started defibrillating it as the thing was like completing its task of it, and it didn't want to get defibrillated multiple times. So that's why that would happen. So Norris 100% died just before the thing revealed itself as him. So the only other person who is infected off screen that we don't know about is Blair. It has to be Blair. It can't be Palmer. Palmer would have infected Childs. It can't be Norris. He would have infected the other two, and he wouldn't have faked a heart attack for no reason. So it's Blair. Blair then then destroys everything, and gets himself sectioned off by people are like, oh well, what if he got shot or something like that? Well, no one else had a gun, and he didn't actually hurt anyone. He just like knocked windows around. So he smashed up the stuff. That gets him sectioned off. It gets him put in the fucking in solitude, where he can work on making a ship on his own with no one watching him.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he does it. And then like Fuchs, the way Fuchs dies always pissed me off, because the explanation the movie gives you is the explanation that the movie clearly wants you to side with is that Fuchs fucking immolated himself with a single flare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was so confused by
That would
that.
that would take so much fucking dedication. That would be the most horrific way to die possible. Lighting yourself on fire and making sure you burn 100% of the way with a flare. No man has that kind of fortitude to fucking just sit there and go like, okay, I'm starting at the stomach. I'm just gonna burn all the way up to my chest, and then I'm gonna fucking burn my legs, like just individually, like carving a path across his body with a flare. Not happening.
I thought for sure that was going to be some sort of fake out or reveal later in the movie.
I've got exactly what it is. I know what it is.
Okay.
So the lights go out. Fuchs is in the lab, and then the thing goes past the door and fucking scares him, and he goes, "Who's there?" Right?
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't attack him. Right?
Yeah.
Why not? Why wouldn't it attack him? It clearly was single. Like the movie is kind of like implying that he's been singled out and that it's coming for him. But Fuchs has no way to defend himself right now. This thing 100%, if it wanted Fuchs, could take out Fuchs. It doesn't want Fuchs. That's the thing. It doesn't want Fuchs. It's in there for some other reason. If it wanted him, it would take him. So what did it want? Well, he runs out. He goes and he finds the shirt for McCready that says the fake out shirt for McCready, which is being planted there. but this wasn't just to like lead Fuchs to that belief. Mostly, it was either to lead Fuchs to that belief. It was either trying to convince him to come out to find this piece of evidence that it planted, or it planted that evidence in the hopes that anyone would find it, and then it wanted something to finish its ship from the lab. So it killed the power so that way it could go work in the darkness and get the thing
Oh,
that it wants. Fuchs comes out, finds it, then accidentally sees Blair fucking taking whatever he wants back to his shack, which is right there. Blair's shack is 10 feet off to the left. So
right.
if Blair wasn't the thing, also, he would have heard all this. So Fuchs
Yeah.
sees Blair go back to his shack with the stuff, is like obviously going to realize, oh, hey, it is in fact Blair. Blair doesn't want to waste the time in killing Fuchs. Blair does not want to get caught outside the shack by the rest of the party. So it just takes like a fucking canister of gasoline and just throws it at Fuchs, who's holding a fucking lit flare or some other thing. It just kills him regular.
Yeah. Yeah, must have, because that doesn't make any sense. What are they implying, that he killed
Yeah,
himself?
the implication is that he killed himself, but that
That's
wouldn't
so
that wouldn't make any sense.
strange.
That makes no sense with a single flare. You just could
Yeah.
not fucking burn yourself to death with a single flare. So the answer is Fuchs saw Blair. Blair just needed Fuchs out of the way. Blair could not be afford to be caught at the time. Blair just fucking murders Fuchs. Doesn't bother
What's
simulating it.
their explanation on why he would kill himself? I don't remember.
Just
Because he
like
thought he was the thing or
no, he
something?
didn't think he was the thing. He the basically the explanation is that like he just did it out of fear.
Okay.
He didn't
Yeah.
he didn't want to get caught by the
I think
thing.
you're right. I think Blair killed him for
Yeah, no,
sure.
Blair just murdered him. It wasn't even it was not about fucking turning someone into it. It was just about getting a witness out of the picture.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie is interesting because you can just talk about stuff like this. Like, I'm sure there's 100 conversations that could be
The
had
problem with this
just
movie,
based
the
on
problem
this
is that
movie.
the 100 conversations I've watched them all, and they all fucking always fall like default to the same thing, where it's like, oh
Right.
yeah, no, it can't be Blair because Blair wouldn't be researching himself on the computer, so it has to be Palmer. But everyone always ignores the fact that Palmer fucking shares the joint with Childs, which would mean that Palmer would take over Childs there, and even if he didn't there is the scene where fucking Palmer and fucking for some reason both Palmer, McCready, and Norris all go to the ship. If they were if both Palmer and Norris were the thing, they would have just taken over McCready because they would be alone with him. If only one of them was the thing, well, we see in the fucking later part of the movie, fucking uh, Blair thing puts his fingers through Captain Gary's face like it's nothing and just takes him over with no effort whatsoever. So we know that
Yeah.
either that being just alone with either let's say they land, Norris is sitting in the back between Palmer and McCready. Literally all he has to do is just like grab them both by the face when the helicopter lands, and then he can take them over. Just like
Yeah.
reach out and grab both of them at one time, and he'd take them over. Uh, but he doesn't. So it's not Norris. And if Palmer was the thing, then he would have just taken off in the helicopter when both Norris and McCready are down on the spaceship. He would have flown off at that point. And then just been like, yeah, no, they got lost, or it was Norris or it was McCready. He hulked down and attacked the other one. I just got out of there when I could. Um,
Yeah.
like if it was trying to eliminate them. So it's neither of them at that point. They're all human at that point. Um, Also, I came up with an explanation for the dog. Outside the theory that the dog is like just being attacked, because I don't because the
Yeah.
dog is acting strange, and it goes like and like all the other dogs seem to be responding to its kind of like angry energy.
Yeah.
Here's the question that I was always wondering until I came up with this answer actually really recently. Why did the dog want to take over the other dogs? Why didn't it want to absorb the other dogs? It's already a dog. It doesn't gain anything by being more dog. It's still as isolated from the humans, and it's still as innocuous. It would have been a lot more beneficial for it to just stay as the one that it already appeared to be, and either like simply nip at the other dogs and just kind of like infect them with like light bites that kind of annoyed them, but didn't like initiate the war. Or it would have just like sat there and like pretended to be a normal dog and then mixed in and blended in with the other dogs and then fucking gotten its way that way. it hulking out and attacking the other dogs only led to its downfall for no reason to gain more dog. It doesn't become more smart. It just becomes more numerous. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I came up with the idea though. I came up with this idea. What if it wasn't trying to turn into the other dogs? What if it was like, okay, I'm isolated. I have time. What if I do that thing that I do at the end of the movie where I, instead of infecting people, just absorb them, hulk out into an unstoppable monster and just rip through the walls and fucking go kill these guys while they're sleeping?
Yeah.
I think,
Like it was gonna form into a monster with the dog bodies.
yeah, it was just going to get more biomass, become a giant, like bear-sized creature and just rip through the walls and go attack everyone before they had a chance to wise up to it and grab the flamethrowers.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, that's the only theory that's the only theory I think it's a pretty good one that explains why the fuck the dog would bother trying to assimilate the other dogs, because it literally is not helpful to it.
Yeah. Besides just the movie wanting to have some weird shit happen
Yeah.
at that part.
Well, it didn't just want some weird shit to happen. It needed to clue them in that this was a threat, that this was going down. Like if that doesn't happen, then the movie doesn't happen. Everyone just dies in silence.
Yeah. Maybe when the thing is a dog, it's dumber. So like it was like threatened by the other dogs, so it killed the other dogs.
Potentially, but like, I mean, okay, so
Was that a good idea I just said?
to an extent. So the thing is definitely the thing that caused the spaceship to crash. It is either the crew or it attacked the crew or whatever. So it should be about as intelligent as that crew is. And the thing is, intelligent on like a cellular level. Like there is no specific brain for it. So in the prequel, so I was gonna say, like, if it didn't pass from a person to the dog, if it just went straight to the dog, in the prequel it does go straight to the dog. It doesn't, like I always thought that that dog had been a person based on this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Then they like got caught, they turned into the dog to escape.
Right.
But
it's a dog that gets the thing.
Yes, it is in the prequel. It is a dog that gets the thing, and you can, like, the prequel is nowhere near as good as the original, but if you take it that way, then it is straight dog. But it would be a dog that should have at least some degree of intelligence that the inhabitant of the ship had, potentially, unless it was like the ship's dog. Like it went from alien dog to human to Earth dog, and then to human. Like that's theoretically possible. Which is moderately supported by the deleted scenes for the movie, I suppose, because the initial form of the thing in the prequel is that it's this like weird nightmare bug monster, which is not what the original intent for the pilots of the ship was supposed to be like. And what's hilarious, so the ice fucking tub that they found, that they're like, oh, this was where they dug something out of the ice, right?
Yeah.
It is
the big square block of ice.
Yeah, the big square block of ice. The funniest fucking it turns out, like so you think that they like either cut it out of there or something, or it like melted. They like, somehow the center of it melted out or something. No, the way that thing gets out of that block of ice is the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen in your entire life in the prequel. There's just like literally they cut out the ice, they bring it into their camp. Everyone like kind of goes to the next room over. One guy sticks around and like just kind of like is staring at the thing of ice, and then it just hulks out and just busts straight through it and up through the fucking roof in like 2 seconds. It's literally it just like basically super jumps straight through the roof. And it's just like, what the fuck? You're telling, really? That's
out of the ice?
Yeah, directly out of the ice. Instantaneously just powers straight through it, like straight through that and straight through. And you're like, you're fucking kidding me. That's the way this got out.
What form is it in?
The bug monster.
Oh, bug monster. So, like, is the implication is the bug monsters are the aliens that it infected on the spaceship?
It is some form of alien. Like I said, in the
because I guess for listeners who didn't know, like they find the thing on a spaceship that's frozen in Antarctica.
Okay, so I
So
found a picture of
yeah,
what the bug monster was supposed to look, because they never show you this clearly. Um,
yeah,
so I found a model of it, so I'm going to post that, and I'm going to post that just directly to you. So
okay,
this is like the bug monster form that they initially find it in, but you never see it clearly. Um,
yeah, weird.
and then I found yeah, and then here this is what the pilot of the ship was supposed to look like in that movie before they got rid of that part. So you can see they're not the same.
Yeah, the pilot is strange in its own right.
Yeah, the pilot is very very alien. Um,
Yeah, weird.
but yeah, so
But I kind of dig it. Yeah.
theoretically, that could, like I said, that could be like alien dog to Earth dog.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought like maybe since I don't really understand if it's like a hive mind or not. So
It
like,
doesn't. It's
or
it
if
is
it has a mind at
it
all.
is a hive mind in its own body. It is not like a telekin or psychopath, not psychopathic. It is not a psychic hive mind. They cannot communicate over distance. They can only communicate within their body, but every cell of it is communicating with every other cell. There is no unified brain.
Yeah. So yeah, I just was thinking maybe if it turns into a dog, it just gets that dog level of intelligence. Or infects a dog, I guess. And like if it infects a human, it gets human level intelligence. Because that's what it would have, right? Like
Uh, Potentially.
there wouldn't be a reason for the thing to be smarter as a dog.
Well,
Since
it
it's
wouldn't obviously it would obviously gain like the dog's intelligence, but if it was coming from an intelligent creature, if it was infected by an intelligent creature with like enough of itself, like one cell from the thing infecting a dog would just turn it into a dog with perhaps a slightly different set of instincts. But if it was like, oh hey, I want to be that dog, I'm a man, and then it kills the dog and turns into the dog, then it would have the man's level of intelligence inside the dog.
gotcha.
And the dog very
Okay.
clearly is like extra intel, like it's very clearly got like dog plus intelligence in the movie.
Yeah.
Like
All right.
it's not clear if it's like
Uh,
you know human smart, but it's definitely smarter than a dog.
yeah, do be creeping on a human on the shadows. That one scene. I mean, if it's a thing, it probably knows it wants to infect other things at the very least. Like, right?
Yeah,
Isn't that? I guess, like you said, we don't know what it wanted.
yeah. We don't know
Um,
what it wanted. You can actually theoretically argue that it didn't actually do anything bad there. Um,
yeah, it could have been a chill ass Viber.
at least as chill as it can be given the scenario.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna wrap it up. That's an hour on the thing somehow.
Uh,
Lots of
Real quick question though.
conspiracy
I
theory.
suppose we
Oh,
didn't
sure.
ask you. How much did you like it? How like where is this on your ranking of horror movies?
I gave it a letterbox 5 stars. It's probably got ranked pretty high. I respect old horror movies a lot. Older, I guess. Not super
What
old,
would
but
you think that this compares the most to?
compares the most to.
Yeah.
Probably like Alien
Okay.
for me. Similar vein, at least, like similar vibes.
Okay. And which do you think is
Um,
better, this or Alien?
I probably like the thing more because I just like the social detective work of it.
I
Like I think that's really interesting.
I would tend to agree. I find the thing to be a vastly superior movie to the original Alien, and I would say that the one of the main things that I really like about this movie is that it's not that everyone makes the correct decision every single time.
Hmm.
No one makes a dumb decision in the entire movie. Everyone makes the smartest decision that they had, like that they reasonably that they reasonably could have
Yeah,
expected to be
like that
made.
guy tries to kill McCready.
Yeah,
McCready.
yeah. When they're wrong and they're trying to murder McCready, it's not because they were fucking being stupid. They had evidence. They had really good reason to believe that McCready was a thing, and they were going to fucking like they weren't just going to sit by and not act on it.
Yeah.
And like it's like they said, it's almost doubly like he got cut. So they cut him loose from the line, which in order to get around at night, in that not only darkness, but like just the storm, they have to be holding on a line. So the fact that McCready was able to find his way back to the camp without a line really did imply to them that,
Yeah.
oh shit, he is way too hardy to be normal. And it turns out they were just wrong. He either just lucked out or was that good.
No, he's just based. Yeah.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, awesome movie. I really liked it. Glad I watched it finally. I guess we'll watch Trimmers for the next movie thing we do.
Yeah.
I don't know when. Maybe it's like more of a regular thing if people like it. People do like our we watched episodes the most. It seems like the Transformers 1 episode I think got to 10K views recently.
Oh.
Which is pretty good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but next week from the time this episode comes out, we're gonna have a new episode, main episode, and then that'll probably be our last one of the year till the new year.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been an epic year. Had a great time getting to know you, Perspective, and Brian.
Who's not
doing
here?
The podcast.
He's not here because he hates us.
He hates us. And yeah, I'm looking forward to next year big time. Because we could potentially meet in real life, Perspective.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean TFCon LA, right?
I mean, yeah, I probably will go again this year.
Yeah, I might go. Who knows? We never know what's going to happen. And maybe we could get Brian. It could be a thing. It could be a thing. So I'm looking forward to next year. Could be fun. But yeah, that's it for the back kibble bonus episode. See ya
Later.
Bye. Thanks.